Amanda here from Create with Scrimping Mummy. So we're kicking off with our Alice 8x8 mini album tutorials today, and we're starting with the cover. So this is another different way of making a cover that I've found by watching lots of people online. If I can find a particular link to the first person I saw do it, I will add it. It's not my original idea, but it's how we're doing this mini album. So I've done a project reveal and paper reveal on a previous video talking all about where you can get the cutting guide, the papers, everything. I'll link that in the description box below. Today we're concentrating just on the tutorial. So this is a clean and simple cover. We're not doing anything special. You've got the papers in with the collection if you've purchased or downloaded. I've given you the larger one specifically for the cover, and the spotty dotty specifically for the cover if you want to use it. If not, you can do your own thing. So you need 2 pieces of chipboard or sturdy card. You can use cereal boxes, you can use what you like. I like to use chipboard so it's nice and sturdy. And these measure 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. Then you need a spine piece, and this measures 8 1/4 by 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to wrap these individually. All these 3 pieces are going to get individual treatment. We're not doing it as a whole. So I'm going to show you one, and then I'll come back when the other's finished, and we'll do the spine. So I've cut 2 pieces of black cardstock, good weight cardstock. This is 225 or 250 GSM. I'm not sure, but I know it's not going to split. Good quality, the best you can get. And I've cut mine to 9 1/4 by 9 1/4, which gives me 1/2 inch all the way around. If you like a bigger increment and you want 1 inch all the way around, cut them to 10 1/4 by 10 1/4, but 1/2 inch is enough. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use tape for this, not glue. Glue can make things stiff, it can make paper warp, so sometimes it's better to use tape, and in this instance we're using a lot of tape. I use the Sook Wang tape, SOOKWANG. It is the same as Scorpal tape. Okay, I get this on Amazon, and it's brilliant. Okay, it will not fail. I've got other tapes that are cheaper and it won't fail. I only use this tape on mini albums, okay, or folios. Okay, we're going to put tape all the way around the perimeter of this piece of cardstock. All the way around the perimeter, and you're going to do exactly the same on the other cover piece. Okay, all right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put tape all around the perimeter of the chipboard as well. Okay. All the way around. Now you will see some people would completely cover all of that grey board with tape. We're not using glue because glue can stretch or warp our paper. We're using tape. I don't feel it necessary to cover every grey space, so I'm just going to add a few. Okay, if you want to completely cover all of the grey with tape, you go ahead. Maybe you've got that wider tape, you know, that's about 6 inches wide. That's brilliant. I don't have it, so I'm being frugal, and I know from making my sample, which is this one, okay, that by not covering all of the grey, it doesn't make any difference as long as you're using good quality cardstock. So what I always do with my tape, and here is one tip, is I always burnish it. Okay, and you might think, well, that's a bit weird, Amanda. If you burnish it, it makes it easier when you are peeling the backing off. Okay, it's just one of those things that's worth doing. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my chipboard in the centre of here, and I'm going to be able to line it up pretty well because I've got my tape on. Okay, And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press down firmly in the middle, okay, and I'm going to start and I'm going to lift, pressing down firmly so my chipboard doesn't move, and I'm lifting the top section there, and I'm going to make a crease. I'm going to go in with my bone folder and I'm going to crease, okay, and then holding it firmly, I'm going to do the side. Again, I'm holding really firmly on my chipboard so it doesn't move, so that I'm giving myself like a frame for that chipboard. I can, if I'm very careful, turn it all the way around. So it's giving a frame for my chipboard to sit in. It's going to give the cardstock some memory, and it's also going to help us place our chipboard in there in the right place without any real hassle. Okay. All right, so you've got that, and you can quite clearly see the marks of where the chipboard will sit. So now all you need to do is remove your tape backing. Okay. If you've got any tape overhang, roll it over with your fingers. Okay. And remove your tape backing. If anybody's wondering about my pokey tool, my friend made it. No, she doesn't sell them. I get asked every time I use it on a video. So my friend made it, she made me two, and no, she doesn't make them to sell. There are videos on YouTube by other people showing how to make them. It's called a beaded pokey tool, or whatever people call them. Right, so now I can sit that within where I've creased. Okay, and I know that it's going to be more or less right. Give it a good press. Give it a good burnish, and that's now tacked down nicely. Okay, so now I'm just going to redo all of this, and I'm going to fold it over as well so that I've got a really defined crease. My paper's got its memory, and preparation is key to getting nice finished results. Okay, so now I need to snip those corners. There's no exact science to this. It kind of comes with practice. They do say 2 widths of your chipboard. Well, this is 2mm chipboard, which is 4mm. I'd just say about just over 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Okay, so that when you fold it, you can see that they're going to meet and that you've got like a bubbly crease there. Okay, that means you've got enough to wrap around that chipboard. If when you do it, you've cut it too short and you can see the chipboard when you've done, just go in with a black felt tip pen or a sharper. Doesn't matter, okay? Nobody will notice. Okay, it's one of those things that it does kind of come with practice. Okay. I do it wrong sometimes, and I try not to stress over it, and I'll just colour it in with a sharper, if you can see any of the grey board. Right, so then what you want to do is just keep reinforcing, and when you are using the burnishing tool, use the flat end. Try and avoid using sharp ends, because that is what will go through your cardstock and split it as you're scoring. Okay, so now I'm going to choose 2 sides. All right, so I'm going to do the top here and the bottom. So wherever you start, do the opposite side. Okay, so don't do here and here, or here and here. Do opposites. Just makes your life easier, trust me. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I've got my Sweet Petunia glue gun, and I like this because it's got a fine tip and it only gives me a small amount of glue. You don't want heaps of glue here. Small bead of glue running along the edge of that grey chipboard. Okay, you don't need any on this bit because you've got tape. You can use glue instead of tape if you like. I'm just prefer to use it for this. Then I'm going to press that glue against that chipboard and roll that cardstock around, and I'm kind of pushing it outwards like that. I'm not exactly stretching it, but it's as if I'm stretching it, okay, without stretching it. And then if you've got good tape, that will hold straight away. Then what I do is I lift it up, okay, and just with the flat end, just burnish the edge of that there. It just gives you a nice neat edge, and it makes sure that that cardstock and that glue are in contact with each other, and you've got a lovely neat edge. Okay, so then we're going to do the same at the other side. Thin bead of glue. Okay, and then with the bone folder, press down on the chipboard and press firmly like that along the edge, and then roll it over. Okay, and push away. Okay. Oops-a-daisy. And then again, we're gonna just burnish the top edge like so to give a nice flat edge. Now, when it comes to these two now, you'll see you'll have a little bit that should fold. Yeah. You'll just need to push it down with your nail. So what I do is I will lift the tape. Okay. Lift the tape. Okay. And then just where this one finishes, you should have a tiny bit of overlap. You just want to go in with your bone folder and press that flat. Just press it down flat, and here. And if you can kind of push it inwards at the same time, that's even better. So flat and inwards. Flat and inwards. Okay. And flat and inwards. Okay. Just take time over that, because that is what will cover up your corners. Okay, but like I say, if your corners show that one's a little bit, ooh, it's a bit hit and miss whether that's going to cover. It doesn't matter, we'll cover it with the sharper. Thin bead of glue. Again, thin bead, you don't want a lot. Spread it out. And if you've got very, very wet glue, give it a minute to go tacky. Lift it. And then roll it around. Ooh, mine just meets. Just got away with that. Okay. Press them edges. Give that a push so that it's nice and tight on that corner. Does mine cover? Oh, it just covers. I've just got away with that. And then the same here with the thin bead of glue. Less is more when it comes to glue here. You don't want it splodging out. You don't want it stretching your cardstock. If it splodges out, then you're just wasting time, because you're going to have to clean it up. Okay. Oof, only just. And then give it a press on them corners. Flatten it with your bone folder. If it's peeking up a bit, give it a bash. Square it off. Yeah. Oh, just got away with that there. Just perfect. Okay. So give it all a really good burnish with the flat end. Don't use any sharp ends. Okay. Give them corners a good press so that they're as flat as you can get them. Okay, so that is one done. One perfect cover. So I'll do the, in fact, we'll do the spine. Okay, and then I'll go away and finish that, and then I'll show you how we're going to connect them. So for the spine piece, this measures 8 1/4. No, that's not the right piece. Hold on a minute. Where's my right piece? That's not right. 1 second while I find my correct piece of cardstock. My apologies. So this piece measures 9 1/4 by 4. Okay, and here is our spine, which is 8 1/4 by 2. So again, I'm going to add tape top and bottom, but not to the sides. Okay. Then I'm going to add tape all the way around. Well, I don't need to be all the way around. To my spine piece. Okay. Like so. Right. So then I'm going to put it in the middle. Now, I'm not really a big one for measuring, but when it comes to mini albums, sadly, it's a little bit of a necessity. So what we want here is we want 1 inch either side of this chipboard. Okay, so 1 inch, 1 inch. So I'm just going to check top and bottom. 1 inch, yeah, that's about right. And I'm going to make a mark. I'm going to make sure I've got it right. 1 inch. Yep. So I'm going to make a mark. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's not, you know, we're not building a bridge. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. That piece of chipboard looks wonky. Let me just check that. So it's wonky. It is wonky. Let me have a look. I know I've got wonky eyes, but that looks wonky to me. 2 inches. It is a little bit off. So I'm actually going to cut another. I'm actually going to cut another piece because I don't want a wonky spine. Thank you very much. So, good job I spotted that. So 8 1/4, yep, by 2, and I need to make sure it is straight. So press really hard down on the bar. That's better. We do not want a wonky spine. It will throw out the, you know, nothing. If the spine's not straight, the covers won't go on straight. Okay. Good job I spotted that with my wonky eye because I don't normally measure very much. But I could quite clearly see that that wasn't right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, again, I'm just going to put it between those 2 lines. And just like we did with the cover, I'm going to start and give that some memory. Okay. Right. Now I can remove my tape. I can add my chipboard between those 2 lines. And between the lines there, move it up a bit. So that it's relatively straight. Okay. Straight as you can get it. Okay. There is a little bit of room for error, but not massively. So then I'm going to really give this some memory. Okay. Because I'm going to push it down and then I'm going to push it into the chipboard and I'm going to flatten it. Okay. Into the chipboard and flatten it. And at that side, into the chipboard and flatten it back. I don't want it going offline. I want to try my best to keep it straight. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is remove this tape. And I'm going to add some glue, a thin bead of glue along the top of the chipboard there and the bottom of it there. Not on the other side, we don't need it. Okay. Push it over, and then what you want to do is really want to get in there so that that cardstock is right up against the edge of that chipboard, and then flatten it. Okay, so again here, best you can, and then flatten it. Okay, roll it over so it's flat onto there, and then use your, I'm using the rounded one so that I don't go through the cardstock, and push it. Can you hear it thudding? Up against the lip of there. It wants to be really tightly in there, so that it's nicely wrapped. Okay. Right, so then what we need to do is, or what I like to do is, I just want a little bit of a notching. Now when you're notching here, be super careful not to go right up to the chipboard, otherwise you're going to cut a hole in this fold and reveal the chipboard. You don't want that. And it's a very gentle notch. Okay, it's not even much of one. Just a sliver. Okay, and don't go too close to the chipboard. All right. Don't go close to the chipboard at all. Stay away from it. Okay, very, very, very slight. Just to take a little bit of that bulk out. Then what you want to do with this is you're going to just gently lift, okay, but not all the way. You're only doing it so that you can see where the edge of the chipboard is, okay? So not all the way, okay? Then you want to get your bone folder and you're doing it on the reverse side. Now this might not make sense to you, but it will when we put the covers together. And where that cardstock meets that chipboard, start working it gently with the round end of a bone folder. If you use a sharp end, you can go through it. So use a rounded end, okay? Just to try and you, again, you're going, and you want a defined lip where that spine is. So it's almost very, very, very squared off, okay? And just keep doing it and start off gentle and work your way till you get where you need to be, okay? You almost want to go in at an angle like that and then almost flat like that. So you're pushing that cardstock right up against the edge. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Right up against the edge, so you're almost covering that like so, but you don't need to be gluing it or anything like that, okay? The less glue we use on these joining parts, the less chance we've got of it cracking, according to this theory of doing it, okay? So that's that done. All right, so now I'm going to go and cover the other one and then we will join it all together. Okay, so we're back at it. I've had a bit of a break. I've had to get my granddaughter from nursery and made tea and all sorts. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to put these together. Okay, so it's going to feel really, really strange. So you've got your piece here. You want to turn it over, okay? And what we're going to do is I might need some more tape. Just let me get another tape out. Because I don't know if that's going to last. So we're going to put tape on either side of these wings, okay? So the first part needs to go here towards the chipboard side, but you just want a little bit of a gap. So not right up to the chipboard, just a hair width away, because you don't want any of that tape to show. Okay, so I'm just going to go a hair width away. All right. If it was a measurement, it might be just about 1/16 of an inch. Okay. So, and now I'm going to trim where that tape is overhanging. I'm going to have to trim that off. So I'm just going to lift it up because I don't want to cut any of that black card. I don't want to be cutting it. I'll just cut the backing away. Okay, and I will roll that over. Okay, so same here. Okay, I'm going to use where I've angled it. So close to the chipboard, but leaving a bit of a gap. So not right up against it. Okay. And then we're going to do the far edge as well, so doubling up on my tape. Okay, and here. So again, where I'm going to have that little bit of overhang, when I take my backing off, I'll roll that over so that you don't want it showing. Okay, then you're going to get your this piece here, and we're going to put tape. Let me just remind myself how I did it. Yeah, we're going to put tape on here, close to the edge as you can. Okay. Close to the edge as you can. Am I doing that right? I think so. Let me just check that I'm doing it the right way. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll do the same on the other piece. As close to the edge as you can. Okay. Okie doke. I'm going to burnish all of that. Get off. Burnish all of that. Burnish all of that. Now the easiest way to get this all lined up is to grab your scoreboard. Okay, and you'd normally use your scoreboard that way. We're going to turn it that way so you've got the butt bar there and a butt bar there. Okay, so this piece is going that way and we're going to just lift that tape at that side and I'm just going to pull it like that and leave the rest of it on. And then here I'm going to remove my tape. If there's any overhang at all, you want to roll it onto itself so that there's no tape protruding. Okay, you don't want any protruding tape, so I'm just rolling it over. Okay, so get your piece straight there. Okay, and then you want to put this on here right up to the chipboard. You don't need to leave a gap or anything like that, but you just want to make sure it's straight top and bottom. Okay, make sure it's right in, and then you can gently pull this piece out. Oh, don't think I've got it all. Let me just go in with my pokey tool and remove the rest of that. That didn't quite go to plan. Bear with me. Get the rest of that tape out. Tape backing out where I didn't quite get it off. Have I got it all? Let me just check I've got it all. I don't want, or else it won't stick down. There we go. Put it back in and then press. Okay. Then we can give it a burnish. And we're going to do the same at the other side. Okay. So I'm going to remove my tape from here. Making sure I don't have any overhang at the ends, or else it'll show and you don't want that. Putting that up here. Let me lift that tape like so and push it to the side so I can pull it out. Putting that in there like so, and it's gonna line up with that one. Let me just see if I can pull that out more successfully. There we go. And they're going right up against each other, or as close as you can get. Okay, and then give it a burnish. I've got some tape overhang there that I'm not happy about. Let me just pull that away, because things will stick to it that I don't want sticking to it. I'm just going to try and poke it back under there. Okay, the devil's in the detail. Okay, I don't want that showing. Right, so I can remove that now. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make sure that that's all down really well. Okay. Double checking both sides really, really well. Okay, then you've got another piece, and my piece has disappeared. Where is it? Is that it? There we go. So this is 4 inches, okay, and your covers are 8 1/4. I've cut this just a tad shy of 8 1/4, have I? In fact, I haven't. I've cut that exactly 8 1/4, I think. I did want it a little bit shy. No, it is. It's just shy of 8 1/4, like literally a 1/16 of an inch, if that. Okay, so now what we need to do, again, the whole idea is to not use a lot of glue on any of the joining pieces. Okay, so we're going to put tape either side on the wing bit. So there's your wing bits, you'll know because they fold, and there's your spine. So the wing bit there, we're going to put tape. We're just going to come down ever so slightly because I've cut it a 1/16 of an inch shorter. Okay, to about there. So either side, like so. Like I say, just not right up to the edges, just a little bit shy of the edges. Okay, and then we're going to put it on the inside of the spine at each side. I'm just coming down a little bit because I've cut my cardstock a little bit, just a tiny bit shorter, so just bear that in mind. Okay, like so. Okay, burnish that, burnish that, burnish, burnish. And then we're going to put tape on the perimeter of all of this. Piece of cardstock. Up to the edges, but making sure you're not going over the edges because you don't want the tape showing. Alright. There we go. And then I'm going to add more tape. Alright, and I'm also just going to put glue down the middle of here, but I'm going to do that after I've taken all of my tape off because my glue will dry super fast. Alright, so we're going to take all of our tape off. That one's a bit far up. Let me just roll some of that tape back. I don't want it showing. There we go. There we go. And then remove my tape on here. Right up to the edge on this piece with the tape. You don't need to leave spaces like you do on there. Okay. Right, so I've removed all my backing, so now I can put some glue down. Has it dried up? Come on, don't be naughty. Oh, I've left it without the nozzle on and it's dried up a bit. Right, I'm going to have to use this glue and I really don't want to because this one's a lot wetter. Sparing with the glue. Less is more. Okay. I left my left it without the pinning in, so it's dried up now. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball where the centre is. okay, because I want it even. Okay, and I've left a tiny gap top and bottom, and I want to make sure that the wings at each side are covered, so I can use those as my guide to get it straight. All right, and that's on straight. So you're lining up with the wings that are underneath. This will end up being the same size, so you'll be able to help yourself get it straight. Then you want to burnish it. Burnish it really well. Okay. Burnish it really well. Spread that glue out and only use a right little bit of glue. And it's just to help keep it down in the centre. Okay, you don't want any of it going in the gussets. Right, so now you can start and you can feel where the folds are, okay, and just start and gently work it with the rounded end of your bone folder. Okay, let's make sure it's all stuck down. Rounded end of your bone folder, and as you're creasing you can gently lift. It's not going to crack because you've not used glue. That's the theory. Keep going, keep pressing. Okay, and then turn it around. Feel where that one is. Gently lift, and then you can see. Go in with your bone folder and just gently work it. Like I say, rounded end, I can't specify it enough, because if I went in with that and I was pressing on too hard, it's going to slice through, and you don't want that. Okay, and now they're done. If you look like you need a bit more glue on these bits, then you can always sneak in and add some more, and now they will actually all fold. Now you don't normally do that with album covers, because that is how you can guarantee the crack, but this design you can do that and it shouldn't crack, okay, because it's been done because of the way it's done basically. Okay, so that is your album done, cover done. Just making sure it's all glued down. So this method's quite fun to try. Okay, I've not tried it before, it's my first time. If I've got any criticisms of this method, it is it bulky just here? I don't know, we'll see what it looks like when the paper's laid down. I don't know if that's just slightly bulky there because you've got the 2 layers of cardstock, but you'd have that if you did a traditional wrap. You just wouldn't have it, excuse me, with the fabric tape, which is the method that I kind of like to use now. So just make sure that everything's down, and you'll know it's all glued down, because you won't, when you lift it, you won't see any gaps there. So that is our cover. It's lovely and neat and tidy. Can I see some tape? I've left some tape behind there, look. I've left a little bit where I left my tape behind. I can just see a little bit of it, so I'm just going to run my pokey tool down to tuck it in. That is a lovely neat cover. Okay, so all I've done different on mine is I've layered the front with the larger patterned paper, and I've cut it. So this is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, so I've cut my paper to 8 by 8. Okay, and then here it is 2 by 8 1/4, so I've cut it to 8 by 1 3/4, and the same on the back. Okay, so it'd be 8 by 8. All right, I've got a little bit of glue showing there, I'll get rid of that. And that's your cover done. So in the next video we will be constructing the pages and adding them to our cover. I think I'm going to do some, there's going to be 3 pages, and then we will be doing something quite simple on the inside of the cover as well. I'm not sure how many videos it's going to take me. I'll try and keep them relatively short, so there might be another 2 videos, maybe should get it done in 2 videos. All right, I'm going to add all of the videos to a playlist, and it's going to be called Alice 8x8 mini album. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below, so then you can refer back to them. You can pause, watch them again. They're there forever and 10 days. Okay, so that's how you do it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.